Cyber threats are rapidly evolving, but the one constant is the human factor. Malicious actors deliberately target employees because they know they are often a weak point. At usecure, our aim is to empower employees through continual, personalized awareness programs that will make them a line of strength in your cyber posture rather than the weak point. To do this, we have built a human risk platform. This platform is designed to identify gaps in your staff members' resilience and then minimize that risk over time. So we have 4 modules within usecure. We provide simulated phishing, a library of bite-sized security awareness and compliance training courses, dark web monitoring, and policy management. Now, the underlying principle behind usecure is simplicity and automation. The first step in this is with our user management. So we integrate with Microsoft and Google to ensure your user list is kept up to date every single day. You have peace of mind to know new starters are automatically added to usecure and then enrolled on your awareness program accordingly. So with our training, we have 2 fundamental principles behind it. The first idea that we have is we're talking about human risk. Therefore, we need to understand each of your employees on an individual level. Everyone has their own blind spots, everyone has their own vulnerabilities, therefore we need to understand those vulnerabilities before we can build an efficient program. The second principle that we have is we need to remember that we are aiming to change actual behavior. And the best way to change behavior is through bite-sized continual reinforcement. So we don't want to bore your staff with overly long training sessions. We want to keep them short, snappy, with everyday scenarios that they can relate to. And that way they'll actually engage with the training and will then actually deploy those best practices off the back of it as well. So that's how we go about our training. The first thing we want to do is understand each of your staff members on an individual level. To do that, we send everyone a gap analysis questionnaire. That questionnaire will take around 15 minutes to complete, and we'll then have a profile for every single staff member, understanding where their own gaps lie. So we'll ask some questions on each of these fundamental areas. Now, the system will take these gap analysis scores and it will use them to guide the training program. So this person's weakest topic is phishing. That will be the first training course they receive from the system. Their next training course will be security at home, because that was their next weakest area, and then public Wi-Fi, and so on and so forth. Each of these modules comprise of a short video and then a quiz at the end. And it's up to you how often you want to train your staff members, but we recommend you set this up to be monthly. From an admin perspective, all you need to do is turn on this auto enroll tab, tell the software how often you want to train your staff members, and hit save. That will send out the gap analysis automatically for you, build the training program for each user, and then systematically deploy them for you, again based on each individual user's own gaps. So it takes literally 10 seconds to set up the training program, and it will then run itself from there for you. The courses get sent out over email. We send them reminder emails if they have outstanding modules, and our library comprises of both InfoSec and also some compliance training as well. So your core information security training courses here, and compliance modules as well, to make sure that we can tick off those other areas. And within the system, you will get nice clean reporting to tell you things like completion rates and individual user information as well, should you get audited. So we couple the training with simulated phishing. So phishing is still the most common route in for an attacker. It's still the most visible threat when it comes to cybersecurity. Within usecure, we will track multiple metrics. So we track when people open the email that we send them, we track when they click on the link within the email, and we track when they give away their password. We can also build an Outlook plugin, so people can then report suspicious emails. If that email has come from usecure and is a phishing simulation, the user will get positive reinforcement and it will be logged in the application. Within usecure, we have a huge library of different phishing templates and landing pages. So we've built multiple different campaigns with different categories as well. So internal looking emails, government emails. We also have key services, so things like, for example, Microsoft phishing attacks. So different email templates that we see getting sent out to staff members in reality that we can then mimic in the system. Now again, a large part of this is automation. So we want to make sure that your staff members are being tested regularly without it falling on an admin to manage these campaigns. To do that, we have a feature called Auto Phish. Now, AutoPhish will schedule phishing campaigns for you based on your preferences. So for example, I can tell the system to phish my staff base every quarter, and I also want it just to send out English UK templates. Or if we have US based staff members, we can add that in here. We have multiple languages available within the system. We can also set up the software so that if somebody gives away their password, they automatically receive phishing awareness. So we identify that gap and we then automatically minimize that gap through awareness training. Within the platform, we will then give you clear reporting that tells you for each campaign exactly how each end user interacted. So you now know who is most vulnerable to these attacks, and you can then take steps to minimize that risk accordingly. We do also give you the ability to build your own custom phishing attacks. So if you spot the type of emails that you're experiencing, you can mimic them in usecure. You can even spoof email sender addresses, and you can then ensure that the campaigns have nice validity too. From a deliverability perspective, there's no need to do any allow listing. You simply sign in with your Microsoft account or configure a Google Workspace service account, and that will allow us to pump these emails directly into your staff members' inboxes. So with AutoPhish and auto-enroll, you could set up automatic training and automatic phishing campaigns within 5 minutes. We also offer dark web monitoring as part of usecure. So the dark web is being increasingly used by attackers to build personalized attacks. Personalization is absolutely key to getting a response. So companies get breached every day, and that breach data gets put on the dark web. Attackers find that information, build personalized profiles, and then personalize attacks as a result. Our dark web monitoring tool will scan against staff member email addresses, and it will tell you whether we find them in data breaches, and it will also tell you what information was exposed within those breaches. So you know this person has had their password repeatedly leaked. That password could have been reused for internal systems, and therefore this is a vulnerability that you can then address. We do also have an upgrade to our dark web monitoring tool. There will be a separate video for uBreach Pro. That will include things like being notified about new breaches, being able to show partial passwords, and being able to monitor domains. So I would recommend checking out that video for a comparison with uBreach Pro. The final module is uPolicy. This is our document management tool. It's becoming increasingly important that organizations can manage their own internal documentation. So remote working policies, email policies, password policies. External bodies are more and more interested in the type of documentation that we have in place. Our document management tool allows you to send these policies to your staff members and get them to opt in. So within the document management tool, we have multiple templates available in here for you. So you don't have to spend time building a password policy or a security awareness training policy. We have templates in here preloaded. You can also upload your own documentation with a PDF import, and we can set up different rules in the system that determine how the document is deployed. So for this email policy, for example, we have set up the system so that it is automatically sent out to all users, and they're asked to opt in again annually. Therefore, you have peace of mind to know every single staff member is being sent your key documentation and being asked to opt in, and you have clear reporting that tells you when they have signed the document as well. So when you get audited, you have that audit trail there readily accessible. Finally, we have automatic reporting available within the system and a live chat function. So if you need support with usecure, you can speak to a human being directly and we can answer your query there and then.